Hi, my name is Aishi Jang, and today I'll be covering some work solutions pertaining to the second video on reception in cell signaling. Question 1. Testosterone functions inside an animal cell by A. Acting as a steroid signal receptor that activates ion channel proteins, B. Binding with a receptor protein that enters the nucleus and activates specific genes, C. Acting as a signal receptor that activates tyrosine kinases, or D. Becoming a second messenger that inhibits adenyl cyclase. Please take a few moments to think about this question. If you answered B, binding with the receptor protein that enters the nucleus and activates specific genes, then you are correct. Let's go through some of the other answers. A. Acting as a steroid signal receptor that activates ion channel proteins. Well, testosterone is a steroid hormone, so it's not a receptor, but it would bind to the steroid signal receptor. And testosterone, being a steroid hormone, will actually go inside the cell instead of binding to a plasma membrane receptor, which is what the ion channel protein is. C. Acting as a signal receptor that activates tyrosine kinases. Well, again, testosterone isn't a signal receptor, it's the actual signal itself. And tyrosine kinases have to do with the plasma membrane. And again, testosterone goes inside the cell. D. Becoming a second messenger that inhibits adenyl cyclase. Well, we haven't really covered adenyl cyclase. We will in a future lecture, but testosterone is actually a primary messenger, not a secondary messenger. But we'll cover that later. Question 2. What is true of transcription factors? A. They transcribe ATP into cyclic AMP. B. They regulate the synthesis of DNA in response to a signal. C. They control gene expression. D. They regulate the synthesis of lipids in the cytoplasm. Or E. They initiate the epinephrine response in animal cells. Take a few seconds to think about this question. If you answered C, they control gene expression, then you are correct. Now let's go through some of the other answers. A. They transcribe ATP into cyclic AMP. Well, first off, ATP is a nucleoside triphosphate, so it's not exactly transcribed into cyclic AMP. Adenyl cyclase is actually the enzyme that turns ATP into cyclic AMP, but that's just a side note. This is incorrect. B. They regulate the synthesis of DNA in response to a signal. Well, transcription factor, it has to do with transcription, which is turning DNA into RNA. It doesn't have anything to do with DNA synthesis. That's incorrect. D. They regulate the synthesis of lipids in the cytoplasm. Well, perhaps indirectly, but most directly they control gene expression. Whether or not gene expression will then lead to a change in the synthesis of lipids, maybe. But C is the best answer. E. They initiate the epinephrine response in animal cells. Well, that's simply not true.